All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Inner Circle Sessions podcast, the first of its kind here, where the beats are electric, the vibes are contagious, and the talent is off the charts. I'm your host, the one and only Ed the Manager, here to take you on a wild ride through the world of underground music. So buckle up because we're about to dive into the untapped world of music mastery, where the rulebook is thrown out the window and the beats reign supreme. Today we're here to celebrate the underdogs, the unsung heroes, and the hidden gems of the music world, the local DJs who are transforming the dance floors with their magnetic energy. It's my utmost pleasure to introduce to you our very first guest on the Inner Circle podcast, two extraordinary talents who need no introduction in the world of beats. Hailing from the sunny shores of Naples, Florida, and representing the heart and soul of Inner Circle Sessions, please give a round of applause for our resident DJs, V8 and DMV 2.0. Let's go, baby. Welcome, boys.
What's up, guys?
How are you doing, everybody? It's another beautiful Friday here.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. So, how y'all boys doing today?
Man, glad to be here. Another inspo night, a little bit different, but I'm glad to be with you guys.
Yeah, for real.
Oh yeah, switching up from our usual setup. Well, just going right in with everything here. We're just winging it. But
Yeah, literally, like, you can see, like, my ratchet-ass mic right now because we're trying to get it fucking handled over here, but
Hey, we got to start somewhere for sure. So,
uh-oh.
oh,
Uh-oh. We got a camera cut out. Uh-oh.
we're good.
All right. Anyway, we are live already,
See?
so there's nothing we can do about that for now. But anyway, so yeah, what are we doing here today, guys? What do you guys want to talk about? Like, how are you guys getting started?
You gonna go ahead?
I don't know. How do we start?
Just tell me how you guys became DJs. Like, what brought you? Like, what brings you to music? Like, what's
You go ahead, man.
All right, so back in I believe it was 2016 when I first started DJing. I really didn't take it as seriously until about I think 4 years after 2019, when I fully pledged to become the DJ so I can spread around this love of music and also be able to express myself through this beautiful art as well. What's it called? My family was always around all types of music. They always loved all types of music, which is where I kind of get my open format from. My uncle was a DJ back from like the early 2000s. I mean, late 19, maybe. But I've always been around music. I've always listened to all types of different genres, which is kind of what brought me into it again. On me being an open format DJ, even though I started off with bass house music, it wasn't until I started experimenting with more different types of music, and I was able to play with different genres and understanding how to play them while I DJ. And it's basically brought me to play for so many gigs, such as anything from like Hispanic parties to baby showers, graduations. I've DJed for kava bars all around South Naples, or South Florida, actually. And even in my gig all the way in Miami, that was the first time I've ever gotten to experience that.
You want to
But
check
yeah,
that
it was
out?
the first time I got to experience traveling as well, which I was very happy to be a part of because it was a great lineup. Shout out to the Infinite Collective boys. I know they're doing their things out there. Yeah.
what about you,
So,
V8? What brings you
Man,
to the music industry?
Shoot. Started off, I would say, probably 2015. Graduating high school was a big thing for me, but I wasn't really into the scene. I didn't believe in, I would say, the EDM scene. I was more into rap, hip hop, and it was just a life-changing experience. It was a graduation gift for me to go out to like an EDM festival and experience that with my friends and my family, because the gift was for my brother, and I really thank him for that because that's what kind of got me into the scene. and brought me, you know, made me who I am today, and experienced a different world, which I'm grateful for. So ever since that, I mean, I just I just been, you know, kind of playing with controllers since then, and going from, you know, messing around, and just kind of, you know, messed around, and now I'm here hanging out with you guys, and still kind of DJing, and, you know, friends parties, clubs. So, you know, I can't get any better than that. We'll hopefully in the future we'll be at a festival. So
Oh yeah, I'd love to hear that. And that kind of brings me in. You said you were talking about your brother a little bit, who brought you into the music. What are your influences in the music industry? Are there any artists that you look up to? Anything like that? Any music that you what's the first song, you know, that you heard that brought you into like, damn, I want to be a DJ. I want to make shit like that.
The first song that ever brought me into like the EDM scene was Sierra Leone by Mount Eden. Yeah, you guys know that one?
Can't say that I do.
That's like a very first like electric song that I heard, and it just kind of blew my mind, and it opened me to this whole world of electronic music, to where I found out about Skrillex later on, and I found out about more bigger names. Um, yeah, it's amazing, man. I fucking love it.
What about you,
Nice.
Noe?
No, for me, man, it was definitely it was, I would say, a song. I can't tell you which song because probably have a many a playlist, but artists I could tell you. It started off with probably like Calvin Harris, Avicii. I mean, like you said, Skrillex. You know, you had Tiesto, but I guess these were main stage DJs, and like that's what kind of, you know, gave me that motivation to hopefully be that one day that DJ on the main stage. But kind of got out of that, you know, that scene. Now I got into like tech house music, where it's a lot of underground music, and I mean, now you see those underground DJs be a main stage artist. So hopefully one day I can get into that same exact mindset and being that, you know, where they're at. So
I mean, we all start somewhere, right?
yeah,
Like,
that is true.
they started somewhere as well.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. Imagine where we're gonna be in the next couple years.
For real, yeah. No, I definitely feel that 100%. For me, for example, man, I remember when I was just getting into the EDM scene. It was like around 2012. You guys know Humberto, of course, so he brought me into that world. My first song that I remember that was very memorable to me, it was like my first favorite song, was Martin Garrix's "Animals." Motherfucking animals. So that shit was hard, and I remember listening to that at some afters, after my first rave when I was 15. Crazy. But yeah, what, like, you guys, what you said, you used to listen to different kind of music at first, like,
Oh, for
what
sure.
what about electronic music brings you in?
Actually, like, what do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean? Where does that bring it in?
It
Like,
brings
how does
you
it mix
in.
in with the electronic music? Like,
No,
from
like how did it bring you into the scene? Like what's
okay.
first,
For
what
me,
genre
for
would-
example, I'll share my experience with you. I started listening to dubstep first. That was the kind of music that I listened to when I first started listening to EDM, right? So people like Skrillex, people like Martin Garrix and stuff like that. That's what I listened to, and I liked it because it was electric. You know, it was that beat that makes you just want to get up and dance and just like bang
Yeah,
your
that
head against.
upbeat
Yeah.
fucking jamming.
Yeah, it was
I
just,
feel that.
you know, everyone, when you go to a party and everyone's just vibing to that same song, just like all that energy flowing throughout the crowd is just insane. But that's what brings me. What brings you?
Yeah. Okay, so the first like experience that I had, like, that completely changed my mind about how electronic music is sounding, or like how it like brought out the more inner creativeness, was going to a festival for the first time. And that's where I was actually able to hear more bigger DJs and how they're mixing, and listening to like keying components to, whereas if I would have went a couple years before, I wouldn't really pay attention to any of that. I wouldn't pay attention to any of the mixing, none of the little twist knobs, you know. And now I just hear everything like it's a symphony. You know, you hear every single little beat, It's I feel like you listen to music a lot differently when you become a DJ because you're listening for more than just a simple sound. You're listening for every single sound, and that's what brings it more alive. That's what gives you the goosebumps. That's what makes your hair stick up from the back of your neck. You know, it's the beauty of music, and in order, it also brought me to that as well, for listening to the crowd sing along to the songs. Like you could feel the energy, all the energy from everybody singing, and all going towards this one person on this one stage. No matter if it was dubstep, hardstyle, bass house, you know, all the genres, and it was always such an amazing experience because there's always people there that really loved the music as well as much as we did, and it also helped us connect with so much other people on a whole nother level. From whereas you can be just friends with someone, but once you're raving with someone, it's a whole different story. It's how you get like your rave family. They're the ones that are there for you when, you know, you're there at a festival. You know, you
100%.
go out with your boys, but they're your main boys. You know, you keep that close circle, and the music is what brings us all together. It brings everybody together. It's the universal language. It's what actually, it's how we speak without having to speak. You know, you could just play a tune, and someone else from a whole different country can play another tune, and it can mix together. And I think that's fucking beautiful, man. It's the beauty of music, you know.
Nice.
Uh,
Yeah, and I agree with you. I mean, dubstep for me was one main, I guess, was my main attraction when it came to how or the EDM scene. It definitely brought me in. It was a different genre. It was a lot of energy, which I was at a young age, and I mean, it was that energy that I needed to get out. And I'm not gonna say anything bad, but dubstep to me is still to this day. I mean, I will still listen to it. I have no hate for it. But I mean, I could still go in, in a mosh pit if I wanted to. If we really wanted, one day, hopefully in the tech house, we'll make a mosh pit tech house scene. But that's something else. That's in the future. But the energy to me was what brought me into it. A lot of people don't really get into the EDM scene until they're kind of in the teenagers or older scene. But now with it comes with like a lot of the social media now has all the EDM music or all the most listen to music
commercials as well.
that
Yeah, I've
have
seen
these
that.
the house music or EDM music that now it's like everyone kind of listens to it now, and they're like, oh, I know that song, but they never knew they never knew the artist to it behind that. But to me, it's just not a beat. It's more of something that touches my inner soul, and I can connect with it, and that's why I really like it. I got into it since then, and I mean I can't leave. It's my only way to get in. I got in, and I'm staying in there.
Shit, I feel that 100%. We are in balls to the ball with this. There's no going back now. But so that brings me in. Like what brings you into the creative process? So, well, before we get into that, how do you get your first gig? Let's talk a little bit more for the people that want to be DJs, the people who look at that guy on stage receiving all that energy from the crowd, and you're like, I want to be that guy. For those people, what's the first step? For me, I haven't bought anything. I went to my first music festival. I fell in love with EDM, and now I want to get in. What's my first move?
I would say practice, man. Practice is main thing to me. Is like I didn't start quoting myself as a DJ until I was kind of feeling myself, kind of figuring out how to use the controller, how to mix songs, listen to other people's mixes. That's when I kind of started like, okay, look, it's been a couple years, and now I kind of got a feel for what genre, what side of music I'm trying to get into, and.
But before you get even into all of that, like, what should my first mix should be? What kind of software do I need to download on my computer? What Like, what do I need to know?
The thing is nowadays is there's so many there's a variety of different softwares where I can say you can pick whatever one you like, whatever one fits you. You can, I mean, you can go from virtual DJ where, it's just a computer-free based DJ controller that you can mix off your computer without a controller. So it kind of depends on what type of budget you're in, or if you just want to try something out. I can't really say there's a software dedicated for you, but there's varieties of software, and you could just test them all out and then go from there. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's where you started from. That's where I started from was a software. I'm pretty sure mine was an app, and it was actually Virtual DJ. That was an app. So
yeah, that's where I kind of started off too, was virtual DJ. But that's because my uncle put me on that.
Exactly.
But I like to view software as, think of them as different phone companies. Like how you have Apple and you have all Android. You have your other ones,
Google,
Google and all that. It's like if you've been with one for a long time, it doesn't feel right to go to another one. So like we're using Rekordbox now, and this is like I feel like it's a lot more better software than virtual DJ. I mean, it definitely is. I'm able to use different types of controllers through it. Some standalone controllers. There's all types of controllers for. Like if you're starting off, the one I started off with was a DDJ 400. That's the first mixer I ever bought. But the first mixer I was ever given was actually a Newmark. It was this small two-player piece of shit, dude, because it didn't even work. But I made it work because you gotta like slowly move the things. But I mean, as a DJ, we learn how to get get over those obstacles and be able to make shit happen. Like I've had a couple gigs where I've had to just whip random shit out of nowhere just because the waveforms weren't showing or something. So like it all depends on the software. You got to make sure you get the exact software USB if you're using like a standalone controller. Definitely if you're making music, it's kind of the same thing, different software, but you got to make sure you get the exact right software. If you don't, then it's going to be all choppy and like all shitty,
So you guys use Rekordbox, you said? Is that something you've always used? Like, tell me the first controller that you brought that you bought and how much it cost at the time and why you bought that one.
Oh, that's a good question because mine was given to me. It was definitely, I think I'm gonna say my brother had this in a closet, and he never used it, and it was a Newmark, like
I remember
Newmark number 2 or something, and it was just a 2-channel controller, and then it had dust all over it, and I was just like, hey, are you gonna use that, or are you gonna like keep it there in the closet? I mean, what is it? It's not gonna do no good if you just keep it. He's like, no, I'm kind of getting into music. And I was like, look, I would just want to practice on it. Can you, by any chance, just let me borrow it? I'll just, I'll even pay for it. He's like, no, just take it. You'd really, it's true. It's really in the closet, and you could just take it if you really want to. So I ended up taking it, started mixing. We ended up having, some after parties, and this is the controller that me and actually DJ Y would actually mix on, and we ended up getting a little bit, every weekend we'll play on it, and we ended up just going from there, ended up buying another, upgrading from a different, better controller, and it was to the DDJ 1000, which today, I use that on our live streams, and I use it everywhere I go. But it is one software program, which is just run through Rekordbox. There is other softwares and other DJ controllers that work with any other softwares. You got Serato, Virtual DJ, and Rekordbox. So depends on what software you're using. But that was kind of my first controller, that Newmark, and I'll never forget it. Until this day, I still have it. But now it is in a closet picking up dust. So hopefully one day I can bring it out. Either one is show my friends where we start from. So.
Oh yeah. What about you, Minnie? What was your first?
My first one was again that the Newmark, the small one, but that one was given to me. So the first one that I actually bought that was most, I guess you would say, effective for us. Well, for me personally, it was the DDJ 400. That was the first one that I ever bought. That one was going for like about I think 250 about the time, because it just came out, and now you can get them for like 200 bucks, which I think is a really good deal for what it's capable of. I don't recommend a four channel controller if you're not gonna use the other two
Channels.
Definitely, if you do have a four-channel controller, play with them. Just mess with them, and you're gonna get the hang of being able to jump back and forth between all four of the decks. You can also connect another deck to it so that you're able to use four different decks, but you have two different controllers, which I think is pretty cool, because at that point you can do a back-to-back with two DDJ 400s. I think it's amazing software.
True that. True that.
Yeah.
So, okay. So now I got my first controller, right? I've been practicing. I kind of know what music I like. Kind of, working my way through it. So I want to get my first gig now. What do I do? Where do I go? Who do I talk to?
I'm gonna start with first, probably online, man. I would say you have all social media platforms. You have YouTube, you have Instagram, and I mean nowadays you have TikTok where you can promote yourself, and then from there you can kind of figure out locally. You have kava bars where I kind of started off of playing there, kava bars or something small, and kind of working your way up, and start hitting other DJs up, or following them on Instagram, or promoters are big too. Like sometimes they DJ can't make it, they'll want to work with you sometimes, or they'll just, hey, send me a playlist or send me one of your recent plays, and we'll go from there. But that's a good, I would say, social media was a big help for me and my friends and family. I would say that was a big support, because they kind of knew somebody that they got me into the club and was be able to hook me up and been able to play, and I do appreciate them for sure.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. I guess the what is it? Can you say it again?
So how do you get your first gig?
Okay, so the first way to get a gig, I guess, is the most uncommon way for me personally, because the first time I got a gig, I was actually just asked randomly by one of my best friends, and he's like, "Hey, can you play for my birthday? Can you come up to Alabama?" I was like, "Yeah, fuck it, I'm down." So we get up there, we DJ. Well, I'm DJing there, and that was the first time I actually DJ'd an actual gig, which I was getting paid for. All the other ones I played before were all just free, freebies. Because I didn't really like to charge. I liked playing the music for people because, it got them moving and stuff. But that kind of introduced me to DJing open format, because I literally went through my whole playlist that day. I played for 8 straight hours on those two, on that Newmark mixer that was like kind of cringy, and I had to like mess with it and shit. But I told them, I'm like, hey man, if it's like okay, it's not gonna be the best, just give me like $50, I guess, or like $20, and he ended up giving me like 75 because I did a really good job, and I didn't really get to hear it back at all, nor do I remember when I'm DJing when I usually do, because when I DJ I get so lost in the music and I don't even recognize that anything's going on, like I don't recognize what I'm doing in the moment until I like re-see it in the live streams. But yeah, for your first gig, definitely talk to people, get connections. With those connections, make friends, make really good friends. Those are the people that are gonna help you out the most. They're gonna help you proceed in your calling, I guess you would say. Like one of my friends, James. Shout out to James. Shout out to Fiddly Diddly. We haven't been there forever. We miss it. Man, we're still waiting for the next Fiddly. But that's where I actually had my first sold out show, which was on my birthday. And I wasn't doing anything for my birthday. I was like, hey, this is the first time that I'm being able to DJ. I'm like, hey, bro, you think I could DJ there at your what was it, a warehouse? Yeah.
Little
And
studio, I would say.
yeah. He was like, hell yeah, man, bring it through. And I put it on Eventbrite. We brought out all their stuff. DJ V8 was out there.
Yep,
We had
I was
Protege
there.
out there DJing.
Shout out to Protege.
Shout out Protege, man.
Shout out Protege one
And
time.
it
Let's
was
go.
such a great time. But definitely keep close to your connections. Stay close to your friends. Help them out as much as, you know, as much as you can.
Possibly can, yeah, for sure.
Because, you know, in this industry, there's a lot of a lot of talks of bad things and stuff. And we need to stray away from that. We need to come together and basically build each other up. And I feel like that's all the process that it takes for getting a gig. But yeah.
I definitely agree. Some important things that you guys mentioned that you guys talk about was showing face. You know, being there for your friends, supporting them. You know, if you already have other friends that are doing gigs, or just even, you know, we became friends. We became really good friends with the bartenders at the kava bars we were going to,
Yeah.
and then they put in a good word for us, you know, and that's how these guys started at the kava bar. So yeah, just showing up, being there, helping out, you know, showing face, and being a good person will show that, you know, if you're there to support them, they will also support you, and everyone just helps each other out. So
Yeah, just be genuine. Just
For
be
real.
genuine. Just be you. You ain't gotta be anybody else.
I agree.
I like that. I like that. So, let's see. Once you got your DJ set, right? You got your first job. You got your first gig. So, how do you go about curating your set? How do you figure out, you know, what music should I play? Who's my audience? How do you do all that?
Whew. I'm gonna say you definitely got to read your audience once you get there. I started off with, you know, I had the songs that I was gonna play, and you kind of start off with, let's say, those top 5 songs that you want to play, and if they dance to that music, then you're gonna stay with that music. And if they're kind of not vibing with that, then yeah, I'm gonna switch it up and see what kind of hits them or gets them up and, you know, gets them moving. But definitely reading the crowd is a one big thing for DJs, is being able to, you know, look up and see who your audience is and who's smiling, who's actually staying the whole night, because that's what you want. Someone there, you know, even if it's one person, at least you know that you hit that one person. So I think it's just reading the crowd is one big thing.
Yeah, definitely. Pay attention to the crowd because they're the people that are keeping the party going. I mean, other than you, of course, but you got to pay attention to them at the same time that you're DJing. And honestly, trying to pay attention to the crowd and DJ at the same time is kind of hard if you're not comfortable with multitasking, I guess you would say. What's it called? What was I gonna say?
How do you decide what music you're going to play, like for a certain spot?
Okay, so it definitely depends on what I'm getting booked for. Since I'm an open format DJ, I may get booked for hip hop, I may get booked for Spanish, I may get booked for house music, dubstep, hardstyle. Just basically what you're getting paid for, I guess, if that makes
What-
sense.
How do you determine that? Like, what kind of questions do you ask the person that's hiring? So if you're getting hired for, say, a quinceañera or something, or a birthday party, like what kind of questions would you ask the person hiring you, so you know?
Okay, so for that, basically you would have to talk to them about what they want to do in between, because in quinceañeras and different parties, they like to do little things in between where they have like ceremonies and they have their own
Like a happy hour.
choreographies and stuff, you know, and that's
What about you, Noe? You got any questions or anything specific that you want to know before you start?
No, man. When it comes to those type of parties, I don't get myself involved. I'm more of a club DJ, or
I'm talking about any event, whether it's a club or a party,
if
any
in,
like what,
in
what do
general,
you need to know?
okay. In general, I mean, it depends. I kind of study the venue for sure. I mean, nowadays you have a lot of social media that you can just go on and you can search up the venue and see what night packs gets them in the most. But you don't want to take the other DJs talent or that crowd away from them as well, because you know that they put a lot of work in to get where they're at. So you're gonna try something new, but you're as well gonna try to get some of that music in that same venue, because usually when you go to that venue, it's like, I know this venue for the music that they play.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna put rap at a Latin club if you only know at this club they only play Latin music. So
yeah, definitely scout where you're gonna be DJing.
That's-
Scout it out first and pay attention to the music that they play and the whole vibe.
Yep. And I mean, usually sometimes you get you the people you invite is going to be one big thing, and that's where you're going to be able to see what music you really get to play, because you might want to go one way and it just turns out it's going bad, and you end up just swapping it and putting some random music that you're like, man, I didn't know that was going to hit. But so it kind of depends on the venue that you're at or who's actually hiring you, because it can go both ways. Because even if it's like a season, if it's Christmas, you're gonna be having a Christmas party, you're gonna be playing that type of
and
Christmas music.
usually they let you know what type of music that you're gonna be playing. They of course you have to talk to them about that, because if you don't, then you're gonna be stuck with this whole mindset of, oh, what music am I gonna be playing? Am I gonna be playing this song, this type of music? It narrows it down so much more better for you, because there's so much music in the world, and you're able to choose from this whole playlist that you have that's specified for that genre. And they usually just tell you, they'll let you know which genres you're going to be playing. You could definitely throw in some other stuff, like some classics. I know people love classics, anything from like Cha-Cha Slide to like just any random classic song, and you can mash it up with all types of different music. You mash it up with dubstep, with house music.
Yep.
I mean, it's already being done with a lot of music already. There's a lot of oldies that they're turning into house music. There's a lot of a lot of good music being created because of that. And I just love that old school sound. Like it's bringing back all the
Old school.
It's bringing back all of the class of old style music. It's not letting it die out.
Yeah, that old style house music is, definitely a big thing for me. When I hear it, it's like, man, those were the good times. But now you got to live with, the remixes and every new genre that's coming out, which is we just gotta. It's it's the new time, so we gotta just go with it.
I swear, like, I be watching those old videos of those raves in the 90s where people are rolling titties. I'm like, damn, I wish I lived in those times. Like,
yeah,
stuff, the stuff seems to be good back then.
And it was free.
Right?
Yeah, we can never compare, the past to the present. We just gotta go with it and just change it. If we can change it, that's all we gotta do and go with it.
Shit, look where we're at now. Look
Exactly.
what we're doing because of technology and everything, which it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, back then you didn't have podcasts just talking about the classics. Maybe one day they're gonna be talking about us in the future, and we're here. So
You used to have
Maybe.
a-
Three random dudes doing a podcast.
hey, you never know. Those random dudes can change the world.
Yeah,
So
it's all right.
Facts. Yo, so let me ask y'all, what's the biggest challenge you face so far as a DJ, like at one of your gigs or something? What's the worst thing that's happened to you?
what's the worst thing that's happened to me, man? I could say there's many different scenarios, but my worst thing I would say is probably getting to getting to your gig and you forget something, man. That's always the worst thing to me. It's like if you forget your headphones or you forgot the mic, and this venue or this specific spot wants to have a mic, or someone you have a someone that's really wants to talk or host something, and you forgot the mic, or you forgot your headphones, or you forgot the power cord to your controller. I mean, that you always got to be on top. You always have to have a checklist and make sure you always have that stuff, because
Back up.
or backup, because I mean, without one of those little things, it can ruin the night, and you can be pissed, and you don't want that. That's just a bunch of stress that you got to be calling people, or maybe you even have to leave the place, the venue, to go try to find this cable at 9 or 10 at night when most of these stores are closed, and you got to call your friends, or if you live nearby, I mean, hopefully you got enough time to make it home and come back. But to me, I think I had it once where I did forget my headphones, but that kind of gave me a red flag to never forget one little thing, or have backups, and make sure you always have it, either in your backpack, in your bags, your case. Just have it with you, or have a manager or a friend, that you comes with you, and they can help you out with that, or always leave it in your the vehicle you come with.
Shout out Ed the manager.
Yeah, shout out to Ed the manager for that.
Shout out one time, baby. What's up, ladies?
He helps it out a lot for that.
What about you, Minnie? What's your biggest challenge that you faced so far?
All right, so the biggest challenge, I want to say that, well, there's one time where I showed up to a gig, and my speaker, the fuse actually blew out before I even tested out the damn
Audio
speaker.
check, yeah.
Yep. And so then when that blew
That's
out,
tough.
I was just trying to figure out how I was gonna be able to play this, because I didn't have no more fuses. I didn't have no other speaker. Nobody had a speaker around. I was all the way in like the deep estates. Like, yeah, it wasn't the best time. But they let me use one of their speakers.
Okay.
Gladly, someone brought theirs, and I was able to make it happen. But
Nice.
that was only like my technical equipment. There was another instance of when I DJ'd over at over in Miami. I DJ'd with the Infinite Collective Boys, and at Pub Dubs. Shout out Pub Dubs.
Yeah.
Shout out Fresno.
Shout out Pub Dubs.
Let's go.
And yeah, at that time, I guess the USB that I was using, the software that I had put on it, or I mean the music that I put on it, it didn't really read it well. So when I plugged in my USB to the
mixer?
I was using CDJ 1000s. No, CDJ 2000s.
2000s,
I
the
think,
old
yeah.
styles. Mm-hmm.
So when I plugged them in there, it wasn't showing me the bars to line up and beat match the music. So one side didn't have any bars, the other one had bars. So I wasn't able to beat match correctly from sight, so I had to use my hearing. Another great thing, listen to the music. If you don't listen to the music, it's gonna be like I guess an example is dubstep. Dubstep, it has very different like very different sound waves that connect to it.
Yeah, you got really highs on them.
Yeah, and you gotta really mix it in and listen to it in order for you to mix dubstep correctly. Because if you're just trying to mix it just by straight bars, you're not really gonna get that perfect sounding. Yeah, that smooth mix to it. Yeah, but
that's why I stay away from dubstep, that hard rock or hard style. That ain't for me.
That was the first time I mixed bass house, dubstep, and hard style together. Yeah, I threw a bunch of zingers over there.
No, that's too much there, mate.
It's great.
Yeah, so taking it now to the performance and the crowd interaction, what do you guys do at the club to kind of interact? How do you how do you read the crowd?
Ooh. I'm gonna say that to me it's movement, man. I don't like to dance, but I love to see other people's dance. And when I start seeing people, shuffling, moving, jumping, fist pumping, I mean, to me that's a movement. That's a cue to go ahead and stay with that music. Or if I don't see kind of people just either start walking away, that's how it's like, all right, you gotta switch it up or do something better, because it is not working. But I only stay to tech house and house music, so they kind of have to suck it up. And usually I don't say anything, and I don't, I don't talk on the mics because I'm not that type of DJ.
No song requests.
For sure, no song requests.
Hey, bro, $100 is $100.
Hey,
No,
true
no.
that.
I ain't playing no Bad Bunny.
Money
I'll tell you
talks,
that.
money talks. Shit, but so how do you stay inspired? What keeps you inspired? What keeps you going? What keeps you going in the industry?
Inspo.co is what keeps me inspired. Every fucking
Shit.
Friday, I try my best to come out here and at least get my, this is what I call practice. This is what I call home. And, a live stream is where I could say is my greatest way to come out here and inspire myself. Because, I mean, if you don't do anything, like let's say you just do it at home, I mean, you're kind of doing it for yourself and you don't have no one giving you feedback on it. So why do that when you have, friends, family that are willing to hear your music and play? So why waste that? It's an art, so we can do a lot with it. What about you, DMV?
Quick thing about how do you connect? How do you like pay attention to your crowd and
Okay.
stuff? Like there are instances where I've DJed in like a lounge, such as like Nectar Lab or like a Kava bar, and you basically they don't move, like they don't dance, but they'll like they'll move their head like a little bit, or they'll just
Just
They'll catch a vibe.
just sit it down. But that's how you mainly could tell for people who are sitting down in like a lounge and stuff, or you'll hear them even sing some of the lyrics of the music. But what was the other question? My bad, I kind of went off.
How do you stay inspired and continue to work in the industry? Like, what keeps you here?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's the community itself. It's the people who are all brought together with this amazing art.
The inner circle.
The crowds. Oh my gosh, dude! I watched thousands of DJ sets, and I always hear the crowds. And when I hear the crowds sing, like when they put the music down for a little bit, and you just hear the whole crowd just sing, it just gives you like straight goosebumps. And I want to be able to feel that. I want to be able to give millions of people goosebumps from just one deck and one person, or even if I'm doing a back to back, like, dude, I love that. I love seeing different people's their different styles of DJing.
Yeah.
Because
that's a
everybody,
specific art. Yeah. It's like,
everybody has their own style,
Mhm.
which I think is fucking beautiful. Because that way, I mean, nobody really copies off of each other because they really can't, because it's not their style. They
Yeah.
find their style within like a while, I guess you would say. But yeah, that's how I'm basically staying inspired. The music, the people, these other DJs that I've met along the way, they've all helped me keep up. And I also have people that hit me up from when I used to DJ at Nectar Lab or with some of the Kava bars, where they're like, "Hey man, I saw your live stream. Like, oh dude, I fucking loved it," and stuff. Like, keep up the good work. Or they're like, "Oh, I saw this video of you on Instagram," or, "Oh dude, look where I put my sticker of you." And I was like, "What, dude?" My stickers are everywhere, which is awesome. I need to get more actually, but yeah, that's what keeps me going.
Hell yeah, hell
Everybody,
yeah.
it's the people, it's the love, baby, it's the love.
It's all love, all love.
Mhm.
So what comes next? What's the next move in your career?
Man, I would say just seeing, live streams is one thing for me. Hopefully more podcasts, because this was the first one. So hopefully more with, even more DJs, have them here and being able to be part of this family that we have created, and just move up from there. We can't do this without, both of you guys, DMV and Ed, the manager. This is a great spot to come even in, to begin your career in the music industry.
It's the incubator, baby.
Yeah, that's
The
why. I
incubator.
mean, I really do say thank you to Ed for, creating a family like this. And that's where I do, take off my hat for that.
Yeah, man. Honestly, he's a real big inspiration too.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie, man.
Appreciate y'all. I do it all for
That's
you
one
guys.
thing.
Yeah,
Do it all for the homies, for the inner circle.
Inner circle.
Hell
That's
yeah.
real.
So we're coming into our final section here. The tips for upcoming people, for upcoming DJs and artists. What kind of advice would you give to the next person coming down the line?
Like I said in the beginning, I think it's more practice than it is just getting your name out there, because once your name is out there and you don't have the practice behind it, or whatever genre you're getting, you're gonna, or if you don't like that specific genre, um, you're gonna want to change or something. And towards, like, once you're in it, you're kind of stuck in it. Yeah, you can change your name throughout the throughout the career that you're in. There's a lot of DJs nowadays that started off with dubstep, now they get into house music, or now they're into techno. But usually they change their names, they completely change who they are. And yeah, I would just recommend you listen to the music that you really want to get into, and practice it, and just go from there. And once you're, for sure, kind of know what genre you're trying to stick to, talk to people in that same scene and go from there. And never forget your cables, like I said.
What about you? You got any tips, tricks?
Yes, I do. Um, Definitely make sure you have a backup of everything, because you never know what you're gonna need. Also, be be very respectful to your equipment. Your equipment is gonna get you a long way, and if you treat your equipment like you treat a pillow, or if you treat some random piece of trash or something, it's not gonna last very long, and you're gonna be messing with mixers like my first mixers that you had to like mess with the knobs and shit. Um, you gotta really pay attention to the music that you want to get into, as he was saying. Um, I'd say listen to all types of music. Get into different artists. Get into, because there's so many subgenres to all types of genres,
Yep.
and once you're listening to all of those, you're gonna get a little bit of a view of how wide variety of a selection that you have, um, and it's just gonna keep you moving forward. Make sure you back up your computer, back up your music. Keep your music on a hard drive if you can. Pay attention to the crowd. Um, Talk to whoever's hiring you. Make sure you set a list of what you need, of what expectations they need, what type of music they want you to play. Make sure you check out the area before you go DJ. Get a little bit of information on it.
The feel of where you're going, the vibe, for sure.
Yeah, and that's basically where it stays at.
Yeah.
Keep focused, keep moving, don't stop.
Yeah.
Even if it feels like you're not moving, you're moving, man.
Yeah.
Because I've had moments where I thought I wasn't going anywhere, and next thing I know, I got like 3 gigs out of nowhere.
Right.
I actually have a buddy of mine, Packy. He's up there, and his cousin wants to set up something so that I can go out there and DJ up in New York. And
Oh shit!
which is pretty crazy because I've never been to New York, and I kind of want to head up out there, but I don't know how long that's gonna be. So y'all stay tuned for
Yeah.
sure.
Try it out.
All right, so
We're
that's the
bringing that
next
out.
move for
Stay-
DMV then, huh?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what we gotta watch out for, huh?
So
Oh, yeah.
watch out. We might have
DMV
to.
2.0 takes over NYC.
Let's go. Times
Shout out
Square.
Grant, we miss you, buddy. R.I.P.
Hey, shout out to Packy one time,
Let's go.
doing the damn thing, putting
Oh,
work
yeah,
out there
man.
in real life. Um, so are there any essential skills or not? Oh, actually, let me take a little back, a little bit. I'm gonna give my own suggestions for people starting out. If you are a DJ that's just starting out, you've gotten your first. Actually, if you've gotten your first few gigs, right? Some things that I would suggest. Make sure that you're getting paid for your work. Okay, you should have a contract, but if you don't, stay on top of it. Stay on top. I know a lot of y'all that are just starting out don't have the time, don't have the energy or the knowledge to figure that stuff out. But there are definitely resources. Definitely Chat GPT. You can ask it anything. Most of the time, it'll give you good answers. So if there's something that you're wondering about how to do something in this industry, how the industry works, ask ChatGPT, and it definitely cuts down the barriers to entry with that. Um, and like I said, once again, stay on top of the people that are supposed to pay you. Make sure you get paid on time. Make a fucking list or a calendar, whatever you have to do, but make sure that your money is getting to you, and that's just the most important thing. Don't work for free unless there's a good opportunity for it.
I was gonna say, I usually say the first show is free.
Yeah, first show is free if it's worth it.
Yeah, if you like it, then come hire me again. Cheapest DJ in Southwest Florida. What's up?
Yeah. But also, I'd probably say some soft skills too. Just like in business, just because a guy dresses nice, he's dressed down to the nines in the most expensive tailored suit, doesn't mean he can do business. Maybe he can't. If he can't go up there in front of a bunch of people and do a pitch on why his business is the best, his suit doesn't really matter. And vice versa, if you give a great speech but you look homeless, people aren't really going to pay attention to you or see you in the best way. So, dress the part, look the part, act the part.
Wise words. Wise words. At the manager.
Oh yeah.
All right, gentlemen. So we are coming up here. We have about 10 minutes left. Is there anything you would like to add? Anything you would like to announce? Let these people know.
Shoot, man. First of all, I'm gonna say shout out to Enspo for having us. I mean, this is the first time, so it's the first time for everything. DMV for coming out, at the manager for hosting it, and like you see on the board, you got Protege, you got Sleaze, you got Idriega, you got DMV like you got V8 like me, and then you got Sessions, man. Big shout out to them. We couldn't do this without them as well. And hopefully, if you guys ever want, to be part of this, you guys are a DJ that's kind of getting into the scene and is willing to be part of it. Hey, hit us up. We're not gonna bite. We'll probably hit you. We'll send you the right way. And if you like into like house music, tech house, and you want to get into the music scene and you want to start somewhere, this is a good spot.
Yeah, definitely. That's what's beautiful about this incubator is it brings a lot of different classes of music, such as DJ Tiger Vibes. He came out with some wonky shit, throw on some of that. Shout out him. Then we had, of course, Session. He throws down some dirty bass house. He makes some beautiful music as well. Go check out his music. Protege makes really good music as well. Sleaze makes good music. Honestly, we've had some really good people on the stream already.
Some talent right there.
Oh yeah, some serious talent, and I love to see that. I love seeing all these different art forms. These people that have basically dedicated their lives to this certain genre, and I know that there's not really many people that can DJ it as well as they can because of their thought process and how they present themselves.
Yeah. You're never too old or you're never too young to be, part of this family. Trust me.
Oh, definitely not. What was it? I think it was David Guetta?
Mhm.
It was one of them. One that they didn't start getting famous until they're like 30, like 30
Yeah.
or 40ish. I think. I forgot who it was.
It's a music industry. You have big, huge name artists, DJ artists that are, that are still in their late 60s and still DJing. It's just the music that keeps them going. Hopefully one day, all of us we can be in that era and still be able to play and have that energy like we do today. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna have the arthritis cream on deck, bro.
Yeah, definitely a lot of standing and it hurts, but
Bro, I'd be seeing like Green Velvet play for 8 hours straight. I'm like, how? Go to Club Space. This man will just take like a 2-minute break to go piss, and then he'll come back and just keep going until the sun comes up.
yeah.
Wild.
I felt that. That was my first gig.
And he's been DJing for like 30 years. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's you got to be strong for this. Not an athlete strong, but you definitely got to be strong.
That's real dedication to your craft right there.
Exactly.
Yep.
Practice makes perfect.
Yep. And don't listen to all the what people say about DJs. It's not true. I mean, we do party sometimes, but we don't party as well. Some, I'm not gonna lie, some do party hard as fuck, but I don't know how they're still able to DJ after that. I've seen people like the beach party, bro. The beach party.
Bro, yeah.
That was crazy. But
That's some crazy shit.
Now one thing is, Ed, I got a question for you. What do you see in inspo and and bringing talent here, or what do you have to say about inspo and how you created this group?
Well, originally I created it to help people like you guys, to help people like the people that are watching, people that want to start off in their music career. You know, back when I was in school for entrepreneurship at FGCU, Florida Gulf Coast University, we were coming up with business ideas, and something that I've really always had in mind, something I've always had in my heart, is helping people that just quit, that don't go to school. And it's like, why? There's always an opportunity. Just because you want to do music, not necessarily something that's really taught at school. It's still a type of intelligence. Music is a type of craft. That's a type of intelligence, and it's not really catered to at school. People drop out because they want to do something that they don't get taught, that they don't know about.
yeah, that was definitely a luxury in school too. Was being able to play with music, or like you had to be special in some type of way. If you had intensive classes, like if you had like other classes that you had to complete in order to be able to do that, it really just kind of kills it.
Exactly. And so my thing with Inspo was I wanted to bring in people that didn't necessarily have all the connections, all the resources to make it big. And so we would teach them and just bring in a collaborative workspace. Say I am a videographer, you're a producer, and we'll work together. I'll teach you how to make videos, and you teach me how to make music.
Yeah, that's the incubator.
We'll exactly, that's an incubator. We help each other out, and that's really the meaning behind Inspo. It's just building a collaborative incubator where we can all build each other up and take each other to the next level.
Yep. That's why I call him Ed the manager, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am today. And he runs everything that I kind of can't run, and that's where his business side and his management side helps me out a lot. So I do appreciate that, man.
Thank you, gentlemen.
No,
And
appreciate you.
Can I ask you a question too?
Oh shit.
Of course.
Yeah, we're asking you questions
course.
now.
Okay.
All right, where do you see Inspo being in the next couple years?
Well, I'll tell you where it's going in the first year. So right now, I want to invite all the underground artists. I don't care what genre you are. If you want to be on Inspo, let me know. I'll put you on. Okay. As a matter of fact, I only want to work with underground DJs. If you have more than 10,000 followers, don't talk to me. You're too famous. It's like, no. I want to work with the underground. I want to work with, the people that
Think they don't have talent.
exactly that
Yeah,
think
man.
they don't have what it takes.
We're all the
I want to
underdogs.
work with you.
We want to bring you where you want to be. Even if you're just trying it out, this is a spot. I mean, hit up Ed the manager. He can always you guide you to the right way. And I mean, to like for us, he always helped us out. He gave us that lending hand to be here and to be able to use the studio and to do our our talent. So
Yeah, I remember when I first started live streaming. I live streamed on Twitch on, I think it was every Wednesday. I'd go out and I'd go live stream.
was
And
around
from-
COVID time too.
yeah. From then and
Live streaming from the Android phone, straight with the music coming
Hell
from
yeah,
the speakers
dude.
that the iPhone was picking up.
Hey, we
Wait.
gotta start somewhere, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Those
Facts,
are,
we all
those are-
start
those are
somewhere.
the times you gotta just laugh and be grateful for those times, because that's where you see your past and you grew from
Yeah.
where you were.
Yeah, I love it. I love seeing my old videos that I posted on Instagram, because then I look at the videos now that we have, and I would not have been able to proceed with my live streams, just by myself, I would have still had Twitch streaming. I would have still been I would have still been by myself, I guess you would say. And I enjoyed live streaming with other people because it allows me to, you know,
Inspired, and you stay
yeah,
inspired.
it's the incubator that keeps us all together. I love that word, incubator, man, because it really it sets up. It's like all of us go in and we all come out with something amazing. We
Yeah.
all turn something from a simple piece of paper to, a whole book. That's what I like to see. I like to see the progress of everything.
The new chapter, like you
Oh
say.
yeah. I think I've been on the inspo team for about 2 years, 2-3 years now.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
when we first started. I mean, I think it was just me and Idriega. Back then, me and him used to B2B, and that's where I kind of got into DJing. And I mean, I thank him as well because he would always push me like, "Yo, we gotta B2B this kava bar," or "Yo, we gotta do B2B on these clubs." And sometimes you're just like, "Oh." It's like, should I just, stay B2B or should I go your own way? Which sometimes it's, when you're in the industry, you're barely getting in, you like to be that B2B and be without like having that second person kind of hype you up. But sometimes you do have to split and you got to, run your own way and
Yeah.
there's different paths for everyone. So
Yeah, and that's okay because there's always going to be more B2Bs.
exactly. And in the future, maybe one day we can bring it back and we'll do another old style B2B. But now it'll probably be Idriega and V8.
That's what kind of inspired me too. Was you guys at the kava bars because we'd go out and we'd go watch you guys.
Yeah.
And one of the most memorable ones was Halloween when you guys were dressed as chefs.
Yeah.
That was like my favorite outfits because y'all were whipping it on the mixers and shit.
That was
And,
definitely a memorable.
yeah, that's what
Chefing it
kinda
up
brought
on the
me to it.
turntables.
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
that. we were. That was a to this day I'll never forget those days. But hey, those are all memories, and we gotta make the memories as we go.
Yeah, I definitely feel that, especially after DJing like most of the kava bars. Like getting out of that whole scene after being in it for a long time, I don't know. It's not weird, but it's like I still get invited to go DJ out there. Like there's a kava bar in North Naples that wants me to go out. I think every Saturday.
It's a good spot to start. I mean,
Yeah, it is, but it
sometimes
isn't.
the crowd's a little bit.
It's just
different,
it's a
but
lounge. It's a
yeah.
lounge. That's all it is. If it would have been like it had a dance floor in the middle or something, I think it would be fucking amazing. But I mean, it's a lounge. It's a nice chill area. I loved playing deep house music there. I loved playing like progressive house music.
And I'm pretty sure you appreciate them, for even allowing you to
Yeah,
play there.
yeah,
'Cause that's for me. It's like I wouldn't be here where I am without the people that actually let me play at those lounges or play at the clubs. I mean, I wouldn't be V8 without playing at Ed's, the manager's house parties or the pool parties. So stuff like that, or someone random house party that's like, hey, we're throwing a house party after the club. You want to DJ? And those were the nights where you kind of grow and you can grow in the community.
Yeah, it's those fun, endless nights. But it's always, excuse me. It's always nice to have everybody all together.
Yeah.
It really is. It's always amazing to see everybody perform their crafts. Everybody do what they do so well, what we do so well. Just yeah, yeah, that's about it.
Well, that is just about it, gentlemen. Is there
Wow.
anything else you would like to add? Any final
No,
words?
man. Like I said, shout out to Inspo. Thank you guys for having us, and in DMV for coming out, Ed the manager for getting all this for us. Our friends, our families that are watching, for sure. You guys are big support, mostly to us, and to the Inspo family. This is our first show, so hopefully in the future you guys will see us more and have different artists and interact with different people, so you guys can see where everyone kind of starts in the background.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see where this goes to, because this being our first podcast, which we've been talking about for the longest time already, and now we're actually doing it, which
Yep.
I think is fucking amazing, man, because we actually get to talk, and we get to talk to our viewers, we get to talk to everybody. And it's more different from us talking through our music. I mean, we love talking through our music, but I mean, we're able to directly speak to you.
Yeah.
And hopefully in the future we're able to have something where we can set up and you guys can talk to us directly while we're sitting here talking. So you guys can talk with us. I think it's awesome. Technology, man. And again, shout out
Interactions,
technology.
yeah, interactions
brother.
with our friends, fans, families. I mean, this is what we do. So, and we love to do what we do. So, shout out to everyone that listens and is part of Inspo.
And we
For
do
sure.
it all for you, baby. All
Let's
for you.
go.
Well, thank you, boys. You have been very great today. Thank you,
Thank you.
for joining me on my first podcast, on our first podcast. And thank you all, the watchers, and Sophia behind over there.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sophia over there.
Shout out to Sophia.
Hey, we love y'all. We love all our supporters. Thank you. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to us. Just click down below. If you want to learn more about us and what we do, you can visit us over on our website. That's inspo.co. That's nspo.co, not com, co. All right?
Yep.
So, without further ado, we will see y'all next time. Have a wonderful weekend. We love y'all, and good night.
Bye, everybody.
Yo.
Y'all have a good one. Love y'all.
Make sure you guys follow DMV2.0 on Instagram. You got VA official _ as well. So you make
That
sure
is
make
right.
sure
You
guys
can't
checking
forget.
us
You
out.
can't forget. Shout out, shout out, shout out. That's at DMV 2.0. Yes, yes. Like where you go get your license. DMV 2.0 right there.
You see it right there.
If you can read it.
Make sure we'll tag it in our hopefully in the bio.
And
when we
V8,
do
what's
the
what's yours? It's like
Mine's exactly V8, and it's official _. And as well, if you just look up Noe, Noe, and it has the accent mark on the E, you'll find me. Noeg.
And if you would like to follow the one and only Ed the Manager, mine is very simple. That's ed.r. Thank you,
At the manager.
and we'll see you next time.
Yes.